a lot of things seem to be happening. We may not put our finger on it, but on this issue of donations, the president last year said he had issued a ban on all public officers doing this, fundraising in public. Then he comes months later, when Alote said the president listens, he listened then, but then he appears to have changed his mind.
Kindly allow me, because Honorable Lote said that, faulted me, and it's only fair that you give me a right of reply. And he says that why President Ruto entered into a broad-based government is because he controls half of the country as per the results of the last elections, and Raila controls roughly another half. But that is not the situation that obtains as we speak. So if we have to form a broad-based government, then we form it as per the support of each and every individual. Now, Raila Amolo Odinga got about 1.2 million votes from Mlima. He got about 1-point-something million votes from Ukambani. He does not have the support of those voters now. William Samoei Ruto got about 47% of his half that Honorable Lote is talking about from the mountain. He does not have it now, and many other Kenyans. So if you are saying that we need to enter into a broad-based government arrangement because of the support, the size of support somebody holds, we should do an analysis of the support of every other politician as at the present. Because I believe Rigathi Gachagua, as we sit here, enjoys more support than each of them. And so it is not true that it was as about the support. And when he says that the country went silent after the broad-based government, I mean, I was just about to ask him, where do you live, Honorable Lote? It's true that the noise that was there shifted from the minority side, but then came to those that were hitherto on government side. So, fine, Raila is not now complaining, of course, but then there's a lot of noise from elsewhere, Rigi and company, those that were in government and do not agree with government, and we must be awake to these realities. But now, talking about Harambes and fundraisers, Fred, I think there is a lot of hypocrisy with the president. He preaches water, but drinks wine all the time. I mean, he will make a pronouncement, public officers are not supposed to make any Harambee contributions, any public contributions. But then he starts by doing the same. By the way, people are talking about what he contributed in Jesus Winner Ministry on Sunday. It's not just about that. Remember the amounts that were returned by the Catholic Church? Mm-hmm. I mean, he did not stick to his pronouncement. Even, I don't know whether he actually stuck it for, I may not know the exact time that it took between the time he said that he gave a directive that public servants should not engage in Harambes, and the time he went contributing in the Catholic Church in somewhere in Eastlands of Nairobi, and the amounts were refunded. What I agree with the president is that we must continue giving to the church. I cannot sit here and be opposed to giving in the church. But the Bible records the right hand should not know what the left hand gave. So if the president is so philanthropic, let him not announce the amount, because the president, of course, gives people lectures about his Sunday school days and how he was taught to give in church, and all of us went through those Sunday school classes, and we also gave in church in our own little way. But let him contribute in private, because this is like vomiting to Kenyans. When you make it public that you're going to contribute 100 million, and I have no problem with the Jesus Winner Ministry receiving 100 million from the president, but I wish it was in private, because when you say this, when Kenyans are really suffering, there are problems with the SHA, which you have been discussing for the greater part of this particular session. People are dying in hospitals. I mean, in homes. People have problems. Students are at home because of the new funding model. And then these amounts of money.
Do you think it's charity, or do you think there's a huge element of politics?
It's a lot of politics. That's why he's announcing the amounts, publicly. The Bible that the president was taught in Sunday school, I've given you a verse. It says the right hand should not know what the left hand has given. If he's not doing politics, why is he announcing the amount?
Right.
Why not just give? I mean, again, before Olote comes in, these amounts are always given in cash. And let them correct me, tell me, anytime the president or anybody else give out checks, signed checks for these amounts of money, they are always in cash. And you can check, you can use your own independent check. Where does this cash, where these huge amounts of money in cash come from? So let the president give in private, let him write checks to churches, and because we have no problem with him giving to churches, let him not announce to Kenyans. It's an insult to talk about hundreds of millions, tens and hundreds of millions, when Kenyans, some of them are going to bed hungry. Some of them have big medical bills, hanging on their necks. It is immoral. Okay. Let him make his contributions privately, help the churches privately. Let him not announce to us he's doing politics with contributions. Right. And we want to hear he has issued checks. He has issued checks, not loads of cash. Because we question the source. Okay. Because we also know that if you went to the bank today and you wanted to withdraw like $1 million, you will have to do a lot of explanations. When are these amounts withdrawn? From which banks? So these are questions that we should start asking himself. Right. In conclusion, I don't want to be taken wrong by the churches. Let the churches continue receiving the support from the president, but in private, in form of checks.
All right. Wanaruk, what's your take on that issue?